You want the best for your car? You already watch our tutorials.
So the best place for the best deal is to buy from the Mr. Auto app. Easy, fast, and with better prices than on the website.
You will find the bulk inner and outer tie rods used in the video exclusively on the Mr. Auto website and through the link in the description. Turn your engine off and pull up the handbrake. Loosen the stud bolts on the front wheels. To change the tie rod axle joints and tie rod ends on your vehicle, you must remove the wheels to gain complete access to the steering system. Lift the front of the vehicle. Place the vehicle on the axle stands. We strongly suggest watching the tutorial, raising your vehicle safely before carrying out this step. Don't forget to slide the wheels under the vehicle. You can now see the outer tie rod end. As the components to be removed are very often seized up, don't hesitate to brush and to use penetrating oil to facilitate the operation. With a marker, trace a line between the axle joint and the tie rod end. It will help later during the disassembly and reassembly process. Using an 18mm spanner, release the tie rod end lock nut on the inner tie rod side. Hold the tie rod axle joint with a 16mm spanner to prevent it from turning. The lock nut is there to prevent any rotation of the two parts towards each other, which could have an impact on the alignment of your vehicle. Brush the tie rod end retaining knot and spray with degreaser. Now, using a socket wrench and an 18mm socket, release the holding lock nut on the tie rod. If you don't have a ball joint puller, take a hammer and hit the lock nut hard just at the end of the threading. The ball joint should move away from the pivot. Only tap on the tie rod end pivot if you're changing the tie rod end, otherwise you risk damaging the threading. Hold the tie rod axle joint with a 12mm spanner to prevent it from turning. Paying close attention to the point of reference, unscrew the tie rod end, counting the number of turns necessary to extract the tie rod end. This will allow you to find an approximate setting when reassembling. For greater accuracy, we advise you to measure the distance between the lock nut and the end of the tie rod ball joint using a caliper. In any case, an alignment check will have to be carried out by a professional soon after having performed this operation. Remove the lock nut from the axle joint. With pliers, remove the external metallic clip on the protective sleeve on the tie rod axle joint. With a cutter, cut the external part of the sleeve so that you can remove it. Using a flathead screwdriver, remove the inner clip from the sleeve. Remove the sleeve. Using a tie rod iron or extractor, a specific tool for carrying out this job, you can now loosen everything without difficulty. To do this, insert the tool up to the fixed part of the tie rod, then with a socket wrench and a long extender, force it in an anti-clockwise direction. If the tie rod axle joint is equipped with marks, release them using adjustable spanners.
Okay, guys, if we can share this video with you and help you save a lot of money, is also thanks to our partner, Mr. Auto. So, if you want to support us and buy the part for this operation, visit their website. Okay, back to work.
You will find the bulk parts and products used in the video on the Mr. Auto site and in the link in the description. Take the new axle joint and unscrew the lock nut provided with it. Put it in the steering cock housing. Still using the same tool or using an adjustable spanner, block the tie rod axle joint but in a clockwise direction this time. Finish off the tightening with a torque wrench. Then remove the tool. Take the new sleeve. Apply silicone grease to the part of the tie rod axle joint that will be in contact with the sleeve. Put the internal clip back on. Put the sleeve in place. You can turn the wheel so that the sleeve is easier to thread into its slot. You can now crimp the clip with pliers. Then put the external clip in place. Screw the lock nut back on until the distance measured with the caliper is reached. Take the new tie rod end and unscrew the lock nut supplied with it. Remove the plastic protection. Put the tie rod end back in place, making the same number of turns as counted during disassembly. Using a wire brush, scrub the pivot, then apply silicone grease to the flat part that will be in contact with the tie rod bellows. Do not grease the inside of the cone. Replace the bolt joint in the pivot. Put the lock nut supplied with a new part in place and tighten it using a 19mm wrench, a socket wrench and a 6mm Allen socket. Finish off the tightening with a torque wrench. Finish tightening the lock nut by holding the tie rod end with a 16mm spanner to avoid damaging it. Now you can put the wheels back on your vehicle. During this operation, you will work on the steering system of your vehicle. Checks on tyre alignment, when carried out by a professional, will guarantee that your steering system has been perfectly aligned and is in good working order. Put your vehicle back on the ground and fix the wheels in place properly. Operation completed.
Hi, it's Theo from UseTool. I hope this video has helped you a lot in your car maintenance. We would be super grateful if you could spread the word so that we can produce even more tutorials. Simply give us a like, a comment, and hit that subscribe button. It really helps us boost the channel and help the whole community. Thanks a lot and have a great one.